Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuh. Today, inshallah, we are together in reading Surat Al-Humazah. And Surat Al-Humazah is surah number 104 in the order of the Quran. Let us start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa bis-salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, today we are going to talk about different rules. So this surah might take 2 recordings, okay? And I am so happy to notice that many of you are following up with me the reading of the Quran. So if you have any questions, please send them in the comments section and I'll be more than happy to answer. Now let us start. Before reading, we start with أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, and then we say the basmala, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. As you notice here, I marked the tanween and the noon sukoon with a green dot. Let us see what we have in this surah regarding the noon sukoon and the tanween rules. And it will be a kind of revision. And even if you haven't taken these rules, I think it will be easy to follow with us as well. Now, first, there is a tanween here, which is pronounced a noon sukoon. We say waylun, right? Lun. So it's pronounced a noon sukoon, although it's not written a noon sukoon, but it's pronounced a noon sukoon, and that's why all the rules that are said regarding the noon sukoon, it applies on the tanween. So here we say waylun. Where else do we have the tanween? We have it also here, kasratin. Now here it was dhammatin, 2 dhammas, and here 2 kasras. So kasratin, humazatin. If I'm going to pronounce it with the tanween, which actually doesn't happen. And I'll tell you why. If I stop here on this word, I'm going to say humazah. I'm going to stop with a ha. But if I connect, I'm not going to pronounce a tanween because I have a lam here and it's idgham. I'm going to say humazatillu, lumazatin. So actually, I'm not going to pronounce this tanween, neither this one. But why am I not going to pronounce them? Because there are rules that I should apply, and we are going to talk about them very soon, immediately. Again, we have here lumazatin, okay, which is a tanween. Again, here we have malan, and the tanween is on the lam. Where else? There, la yumbadan. This is also another rule regarding the noon sukoon. These are tanween, the above 4 cases or examples, and this one is regarding a noon sukoon, coming after it a ba. And then we have here tanween, musadatun, okay, it's also a noon sukoon, amadin, also a noon sukoon, and at the end, mumaddadatin. But we have a meme here, and we are going to say, why do we have this meme instead of a second kasra? Those of you who already know these rules, it's kind of revision for you. And those who really are beginners, I hope that you can follow up with us, inshallah. And the question of this lecture or lesson or gathering or recording, whatever you consider it, what are the differences between both the noon sukoon letter and the tanween? And I want you to search for the answer and send it in the comment section. I'll be happy to see your answers. Okay? So I'm not going to say them. I want you to search. And your search will be, what are the differences between the Noon Sukoon as a letter and the Tanween? What is the difference between them? Okay. Now let us start here and revise together the Noon Sukoon rules. The Noon Sukoon here is written like this, and it does not have a Sukoon sign. Okay, it's just a Noon without any sign on top of it. But if one of these letters, the Hamza, Ha, Ainun, Ha, Ghainun, Kha, if one of these 6 letters came after the Noon Sukoon or the Tanween, okay, because both these rules apply on both. If any of these 6 letters, and these are called the throat letters, okay, if they came after the Noon Sukoon, then you will find a Sukoon sign on top of the Noon. Okay? And this means any letter that has this Sukoon sign, this means that this letter is going to be pronounced properly. And this is called Izhar, meaning that I'm going to show this letter properly. I'm going to pronounce it properly. So, and the same with the Tanween. So I'm going to say An, I'm going to pronounce the Noon properly. Min, if I see the Sukoon sign, which most probably will be having one of those throat letters, 6 letters. If the Noon Sukoon or the Tanween is followed by one of those 6 letters gathered in the word Yarmaloon, the Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Noon, then there's going to be a completely opposite rule. The first one is Izhar, meaning to show, but the second one is Idgham. I have it here written as transliteration so that you can read it. Originally in Arabic it's called Idgham, and it means to merge. I'm gonna merge this Noon in the following 6 letters, meaning that the Noon is not going to be pronounced at all, but sometimes there's going to be a ghunna and sometimes there won't be a ghunna, and the Noon sound is totally dropped, cancelled. What about a ba coming after the Noon? This is called qalb, and qalb means to turn something into something else. So instead of pronouncing a Noon, I'm going to pronounce it a Mim if the ba came after it. All the remaining letters, apart from the Izhar letters and the Idgham letters and the letter of Qalb, all the remaining letters, if they came after the Noon Sukoon or the Tanween, then the rule is called Ikhfa, and Ikhfa means to hide. This is a revision to the rules, and let us apply them in the ayahs that we are going to read in Surat Al-Humazah. And let us start. Here we have the first example. Waylulli. This is how we are going to read it. Waylulli. What did I do? The Dhamma, the first Dhamma, is the Dhamma concerning the grammar of the lam, of this word, okay? The position of this letter in the word. So in this case, it has a Dhamma, and we do not come near the first sign, which is in this case the first Dhamma. We are going to read it, Waylu. But what happens here is that I'm going to find the rule regarding the second Dhamma, which is the Noon Sukoon sound. what is the letter coming after the noon sukoon or the tanween? It's the lam. So if I return back to what we already said, the lam belongs to the idgham rule. And this means that this noon will be totally cancelled. I'm not going to pronounce the noon, but does this noon, is this noon totally merged into the lam or partially merged? Meaning that I'm not gonna hear a noon, but I'm gonna hear a ghunna. And the ghunna is the sound of the noon that is pronounced from the nasal, which is when we pronounce the noon, we say an. This sound is the ghunna sound. But there's another part of the noon when I pronounce it, which is coming or produced by the tongue. And to pronounce the noon, the tip of the tongue touches above the gum of the upper teeth. And if I close my nose, there won't be a sound of the noon. Let us try. Close your nose and try to pronounce a noon and say and. Again, last time. And it is terminated. The sound is not complete because there is a ghunna sound missing. So here, how am I going to pronounce this idgham, this merging? I'm going to say waylulli, lulli, no ghunna, no noon. So this is complete idgham. The noon totally merged into the lam. Okay? Now, if we take this word, we have a waw fatha and the ya sukoon. What is this? What is this form? It is lean. Remember when we talked about it in the previous surahs? It's lean. So we say way, waylun likulli. How many lams am I going to pronounce here? I have waylu, first lam, and then we have a lam shadda. And we all know that the shadda letter is a sukoon letter at the beginning and a kasra letter. So we are going to pronounce 3 lam after each other. Waylul, lul, li. Waylul li kulli. And here, of course, it's 2. So it's lam sukoon and the lam kasra. Waylul li kulli. And make sure there's no ghunna as we mentioned. Okay? So the lam shadda tends to grab a ghunna. It wants a ghunna. It's very easy to give it a ghunna. Listen. Waylulli, lulli. And this is not correct. So try to just pronounce the lam quickly and get your tongue out of the place of the lam. Lulli. Waylul likulli. And then we go to this word. Humazatil lumazah. You see here we have a tanween also, but with a kasratin, and after it a lam. So what is the rule here? It's exactly the same as this one. It's idgham. We are going to merge this tanween into the lam. The noon sukoon is going to merge into the lam without a ghunna, a complete merging, complete idgham. Idgham kamil. Kamil means complete, total. But am I going to pronounce the first kasra? Yes. Humazat. tillu. Okay? Humazah lumazah. When I stop here, I stop on a ha. Okay? And this is also a ha. But it's pronounced, it's written like this in the middle of the word or at the beginning. Most probably at the beginning. And then it's written like this if it comes in the end. But in this case, it's the ta. But if I stop on it, I'm going to pronounce it a ha. Lumazah. Zah. Okay? But if I'm going to connect, I'm going to say lumazatini ladhi. And this rule is because that the noon sukoon in the tanween came after it another sukoon letter, which is the lam sukoon. So I have two sukoon after each other. And the rule says if two sukoon came after each other, the first one is a noon, we are going to pronounce it with a kasra. Lumazatin, this is the with the tanween, but we are going to say lumazatinilladhi, nilladhi. We're going to take this in more details later. So let's read this ayah. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. I'm going to stop here. If I start and I don't connect, what do? I pronounce Hamzatul Wasli with a Hamza Fatha. Alladhi. 2 counts for the mad. Jama'a ma. You have 4 fathas here, so be careful, pronounce them all. Jama'a ma. 2 counts for the alif. Then we have a tanween, after it a waw. Why didn't I mention the alif? This is lam, tanween with an alif after it. This alif is here because if I stop on the tanween with a fathatin, I'm going to pronounce the alif. I'm going to say alladhi jama'a mala. So this alif is instead of the tanween when I stop. But when I connect, I do not pronounce the alif. So what's the rule here? I have a tanween after it a waw. What is it? Idgham. Yes, I'm going to merge. I'm going to merge the tanween with the waw. With a ghunna? Yes, with a ghunna. Where did this ghunna come from? Does the waw has a ghunna? No. So where did the ghunna come from? From the noon sukoon. This means that this idgham is not complete. Idgham naqis. It's not a complete idgham. Why? Because the noon left part of it behind, which is the ghunna. So we say ma law. Excuse me. Ma law. Okay? And then here wa'addada. How many dal are we going to pronounce? 3. Yes. A dal sukoon, a dal fatha, and a dal fatha. Right? This is a sukoon dal and a dal fatha, and this one is a dal fatha also. Wa'ad, the sukoon dal, wa'addada. And the same thing here. If I stop, I'm going to stop on a ha. Wa'addada. If I'm going to connect, I'm going to pronounce maddu sila. This wow, this small wow. It comes from ha al-dhamir, this person, the masculine person. Wa'addadah, he, okay, comes from the word he. Okay, this ha. So it derives, this maddu sila derives from the ha here. If it's a dhamma, then it's a waw. If it's a kasra, then it's a ya. So if I'm going to connect, I'm going to say wa'addadahu. I'm going to consider it mad 2 counts. Wa'addadahu yahsabu. But when we stop, we cancel the pronunciation of it. So we say الذي جمع مالا وعدده. Okay? Very good. Now, inshallah, I think we are going to stop here. And inshallah, next time we continue the reading of this surah, inshallah, starting ayah number 3. And I will be waiting for your answers in the comment section on the YouTube channel, answering the question of what is the difference? What are the differences between both the Nun Sukun letter and the Tanween? I'll see you inshallah in the next recording. Thank you so much for your attention and your attendance. And if you find these recordings beneficial, kindly share it with others to spread the knowledge, and I will be very happy for you to subscribe here so that you receive all the latest videos and reading Quran lessons regarding we are now in part number 30, inshallah. So you will receive all the recordings as soon as I post them. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next recording. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.